Hello and welcome to tonight's edition of the Evening Review. My name is Taiwan Jabela, your host for tonight. We are going to quickly look at today's front page. The high-level panel committee that was assembled a year ago by President Hage Geingob went to see him today at State House, and here is a briefing. In fact, the committee handed a report to President Hage Geingob, and here is what the chairperson of the committee, Johannes Gabachab, had to say.
President, where we have handed over the final report of the panel. You'll recall that the panel was established by the President to address the economic challenges facing the nation. Our mandate was pretty clear: help us to address inequality, poverty, and the sluggish economic growth, help us to attract investments to the country, and organize an economic growth summit. So we have given the President the first report, 15 recommendations, how we could create confidence in the economy. The second report we gave to the President was very much focused on a progress update on the activities of the panel since the economic summit. And then also we zoomed into how we can create jobs as well as support to local SMEs. It's quite important that we need to support our local SMEs, and today we handed over the final report to the President. Remember, the duration of the time of the panel is also expiring at the end of the current government. So we were told in February, please come in with the final report. I'm pretty sure the President will consult his cabinet, and in due course, this report will be released by the President. We have consulted widely. We've talked to youth, we talked to trade unions, we talked to many people in the private sector. We have consulted other countries. We look at research papers that were available. We applied ourselves diligently, and what we are proposing here are very much evidence-based, practical solutions. In this report, there are some revolutionary, bold ideas that we are proposing, and we are proposing those to revive the economy. As I said in the room, doing nothing is not a choice. As Namibians, we all need to accept that it's time now for us to take that painful, difficult decision. If you continue on the same basis, we are compromising our own sovereignty as a country. So we just need to take these difficult decisions. So what's in here basically are a 10-point plan that we recommended to the President. We are talking about macroeconomic stability. We are talking about housing. We are talking about SOEs. We are talking about what we need to do for fishing quotas and fishing rights. The system that we have currently is not serving the nation, so we've put some recommendations about fishing rights and fishing quotas, and also around licenses for mineral licenses. We talk about public sector reform. We talk about leveraging public assets. We are talking about housing is a big one. And we talk about what else? Greening Namibia. We can become the first zero-emission country on the continent. And towards that end, we have taken already a plan decided in 2011. We've got a plan around climate. All we need to do is to announce that and start accessing money from all these green funds that we've got in the world. We can really leapfrog many of the countries around greening the country. So leveraging public assets, public sector reform, that's what we are, water and electricity. Those are the things we are addressing here. But unfortunately, I cannot share with you the detail. That's also the fourth industrial revolution. How do we prepare our workers for the new world that's coming? Those are the things we are addressing. Let's allow the president to consult his cabinet, debate that, and I'm pretty sure he's going to release the report.
Today we had a visitor in the studio, Esther Muinjangue, who is the president of Nudo. She spoke to our colleague Jemima Biekes and on a variety of issues, including the opportunity for women in Namibian politics. She also had some comments about the chances of Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah becoming the next Swapo president, basically sharing her views on that possibility. Here is the interview.
Good day, my name is Jemima Biekes for Namibian Sun Evening Review. Thank you for tuning in. We have today in the studio with us Ms. Esther Muinjangue. She is the first political party leader in the country. She's the president of Nudo, and she'll be talking to us about the gender issues in the party, the fight for her as a female to make it to the top in the party, and just women in politics in general. Good afternoon, Honorable.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Can you just give us an idea how this journey has been for you? I mean, Nudo has been a boys' club for a very, very long time. How did you manage to get to the top? And in your view, what were the pitfalls and the challenges and
All right, thank you very much. And thank you also for inviting me to your studio and to talk about my party, the Nudo party. As you said, it was a journey, yes. There were a lot of difficulties, struggles, and so on. But it was also nice. I enjoyed those. Because for me, I always believe that if your road is too smooth, then things are not okay. There should be challenges so that you can also, you get bumps here and there, but then you raise and you move on. So it was not easy, as you said in your question, because in our society, we still have to deal with the inherent traditional stereotypes, and especially in the community that I'm coming from, where women are, they have, since young days, you have been told, and we internalize what the community is telling you about your role in the society. But for me, it was not really that much difficult, because I remember back in the 90s, 95, at funerals, we are also not allowed to speak. And
women.
Yes. And I remember very well at this funeral, the late was a neighbor of mine, and I wanted to say something. And culturally, the women are inside, they do their things inside the house and so on. But I was sitting outside, and I called the guy who was leading the program, and I said, put my name on the program. And he said, but I don't think you are serious. I said, I'm damn serious. I want to say something. So then he said, okay. So, but from that day, I started to cross the boundaries. I have never been that person who just conform with the norms of a community. There are certain things that make sense to me. There are certain things that I start questioning for me to understand them. So I crossed boundaries, and I started to operate outside the box. And I think from that also, it started to make people, get used to me. And as you also know, 2003, or 2005 rather, I became the chairperson of the Genocide Foundation. And that one, you also have to speak in front of communities and so on. So people they got used to me, and I think it's also what makes it easy for me is It's my personality and my characters, I think. Because what I have learned is that people, especially men, they want to be respected, they want to be acknowledged and so on. And for me, that is easy to do. I can acknowledge you, I can respect you, but if I am aiming for something, I will go for that thing. So, and of course, yeah, I think my personality contributed a lot, because I am that kind of person that I will come, I will talk to anyone, I will interact with anyone. I will go to a shop, I will start talking to anyone in that shop. So that makes people also to accept me very easily.
Well, thank you for that. You've talked about your personality and how it has helped you to overcome. Now, can you also elaborate, given your journey, the common challenges that young women or women in general in politics usually were faced with up to now, or can potentially be faced with? Like we see, we have new parties coming to parliament with very young females. One of the parties are coming with the youngest female MP.
Yeah.
What are the challenges that they can prepare themselves for, or how can they overcome this? What are the tips that you would rather give them?
The challenges are that our men, for them, it's more about their ego. You know, it's again a matter of socialization. The fact that they were brought up as men is the head of the family, men are the heads in any communities and so on. So the moment they find women coming up, it's like they feel threatened. And because of that, they will start, you know, becoming intimidating. They would say things that can put you down, or so that you can back off. So my advice to the young ones is that they should believe in themselves. That is very, very important. If you know what you are talking about, do it, don't hesitate, and speak with authority, so that people can also know that you are standing your ground. Because otherwise you will start wavering, and you will start, you know, questioning yourself, and that can influence your confidence as well. So the most important thing is that to believe in yourself, to have a very strong, and it's especially important for women also to create a very strong sense of identity. You know, men can be, I think men are physically stronger than us, but emotionally, women are very strong, and we should use that.
In your view, like you say, men are obviously physically stronger than us, but I mean, this for a very long time, there's been this male-dominated political industry, basically, or sector. What are the things that young political leaders can use to build themselves in order to get to a point where the men are now?
Yes. You see, young people should focus more on issues that are affecting fellow young people. Because when they are becoming now the voices of the young people, and the young people outside there, if they start realizing that we have people, especially in the parliament, who are our peers, who are advocating on issues that are, you know, impacting on our lives, they will start showing respect to the ones who are in parliament, and so they will start, you know, becoming more active in politics, because now they have someone who understands what they are going through. They experience, they have their own world that they are living in. So it's important that the young ones that are coming to parliament now should be very vocal, and they should focus more on issues that are affecting the young people. I have seen that in parliament, people like attacking one another. For me, it's not about attacking the other person. It's about the issues. We need to address the issues that are, you know, affecting our people, and not sit down, you are a woman or whatever. We know that they are saying those things to frustrate us. And we should not focus on that. We should remain focused. We should know what is it that we want to discuss, what is it that we want to put across, what are the issues. So the young ones should also mingle with the other young ones, they should not now start feeling that now I'm a member of parliament, I'm a very important
I have
person.
arrived, basically.
You know? So you still need to be on the ground because it's where things are happening. And if you start cutting the relationship with the young ones, you might lose what is happening at the reality. And I think that is a problem at the moment with many of our parliamentarians. You know, where are they? They are not really part of the community. So how do they know what is going on, what is happening around them in the communities? So it's very important. I want to give you an example of last year, my car was in a garage for service, and I took a taxi. So at the taxi rang, I got an old friend from school who said, "No, man, President, you cannot, use a taxi." And I said, "Why not?" "Yeah, but you are a president." I said, "So what?" And I told him that, you see, that's a problem that we make. If I'm using a taxi, and then people start complaining about the services that they get from taxi drivers, I might know because I have that experience. So we cannot imagine what people are going through, but we need to move into the communities to understand and to put ourselves in the shoes of these people. I think that is the advice that I can give them, that they should not build a bridge
between them and the community.
Exactly. They should still remain members of the communities that they are coming
serve
from.
the communities they come
Yes.
from. Thank you very much for that. And now, speaking about that in particular, we obviously you have been a very one of the big advocates for the genocide reparations for the Ovahero and Nama genocide. What are the other issues that you will be pushing for once you get to Parliament?
Okay. I don't know whether you can recall that during my campaign last year, my theme was restoring the dignity of the Namibians. Basic needs, you look at the Maslow hierarchy of needs, the basic needs. Those are clothes, food,
Shelter.
housing, and so on. And when their basic needs are, covered or taken care of, they can move to the next level of their needs. So we need to start there. And what I mean by that is that we have a high rate of unemployment. Young people roaming our streets, not knowing what to do. And I'm always saying that now at the moment we have deployed the NTF on our streets. It could have been better to take the young ones who are unemployed, provide them with basic training, and then deploy them alongside with the police officers or the city of Windhoek, so that these people, as young people, can also start developing a sense of civil responsibility. So and as a government, you might give them a small incentive. So that will help them to stay out of the streets, but it will also give them a small incentive that they can use to buy toiletries or whatever the needs might be. But most importantly, they will also develop a sense of civil responsibility. That is one example of how we can do things rather than bringing in the defense force, because defense force, they are trained to protect and they just kill, So that is one way of doing things. So, but I think the government at the moment has got a top-down approach. We need to have a bottom-up approach where people should also be, navigate their own programs, have a participatory development approach, and have people tell you. I'm thinking about, like another example, gender-based violence is also one issue that is very close to my heart. And there we need to teach. We need to look at what went wrong in our communities, Why do we have such a high moral decay in our communities? What happened to the families? Because a family is the smallest unit in our communities, but it's very important because it's in the family that children are molded and they are shaped. So can we still talk about families today in Namibia? Because the families are so broken and all these kind of things. Now, the issues, unemployment, substance abuse, gender-based violence, they are all related. Teenage pregnancy, they are all related. It could be that a child is a teenager, is becoming pregnant because life at home is so hard, and you are having this guy who's older than you, who is providing. And in my work, I have seen that the families, the parents, as long as this guy is providing, they are okay with it. They only get involved when there are now problems between their daughter and the older man. So we need to engage the life skills teachers in schools, and you know, the issue of ethics, you know, it's very important. I remember when we were in our time, when we were in high school, there were programs on ethics, and that also taught people the norms, the rules, and things that need to be done in our communities, things that are acceptable, things that are not acceptable. But now today it's like everyone can just do as you wish.
Honorable, coming back to politics and women in politics, now the ruling party is one of the parties that's really come far in terms of women empowerment. They have a vice president right now. Do you see it in the near future that vice president, Ms. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, can become that party's president? And do you think Namibia itself is ready for a female president?
Yes, I think so, and I have always been saying that. Swapo made a mistake. What is her name again? Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah. For me, she could have been the president, not the vice president. But nevertheless, that happened, is water under the bridge. But I think for now, being the vice president, it's a good time for her now to become the party president. And I would want to tell myself that the Namibians are ready for a female president. We have seen in Oshakati with the by-election in Oshakati East, I think.
Angelina.
Yeah, Angelina, you know, she was a young female. Unfortunately, she did not make it, but you could see the difference was only 400 or so.
It's a very narrow margin.
Exactly. So I think Namibians are, and women also have now started to realize that it's the era of women now. You know, men has been using women to decampaign against other women. I think we have passed that. I have seen it in Nudo as well. The majority who supported me in the Nudo party were the females, and especially the young ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that would be very much, it's a good sign if we can have a female president in Namibia. It will be a sign of political maturity. And you know, a woman is a symbol of caring, is a symbol of home. So, yeah, I think they should give her a chance, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much. And thank you very much for tuning in. Earlier, Ms. Esther Muinjangue said something about her work. So I just want to, those of you who don't know, she is a trained social worker. Thank you very much.
And last year, December, I obtained my PhD with the University of Stellenbosch.
And there you have it, female excellence. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
This is all we had for you tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Good night.